All right, I'm going to go over your quiz so that you can do your corrections. In order to get your half points back, you have to write down all the problems that you got wrong. Now, you may not have your quiz with you, so just write all the problems down and you'll be fine, okay? So, here we go. The first problem was the graph. We talked about this as a warm-up last week so that you understood what was required on the graph, okay? So here we have the diet program advises the following average weights for adults based on heights, okay? Then you have your table. Remember, left-hand column is your X, okay? Independent variable. Right-hand column is your Y, dependent variable, okay? So, part A says represent the data on the table graphically on the following grid. Be sure to label the input and output axes as well as the tick marks that you use on each axis. This was worth 10 points, okay? So what I'm going to do, because I'm on the board here, I'm going to take my grid and I'm going to move it up so that I can see my points a little bit better, okay? So I have to label my axes. My independent is my height. And it's in inches. Okay? Now I need to scale it. Now I'm going from 58 to 76, okay? And most of the increments are in 2. But I don't want to just go 58, blah, 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 right? You gotta go 58, then 106, whatever. I want to go up so that it's going to fit nicely, but also have a good scale. So, if I go up by tens, for instance, 10, 20, well, remember my writing is kind of big, so I'm going to skip. So 10, skip 1, 30, skip 1, 50, skip 1, 70, skip 1, 90, okay? That should take care of that one all right. Now, my Y is the weight in pounds, so weight in pounds, okay? And I've got to go up to 185. So I could scale again by tens to make it fit, okay? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 30, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190. Okay? That takes care of my problem on scaling. Now, just graph it. So I need 58 inches. Well, that's almost 60, but not quite. And I need to go up to 108. So 108 would be pretty close to 110. Okay, so there's my 58. I need 60 and 115. So that's about halfway between 110 and 120. Okay, 62 is 123. So a little more than 60. And 123 would be about here. Okay. 64, it's close to 65, and 131, so that's like right there. Okay, 66 and 140, right about there. Okay, 68 and 148. There, okay, 70 and 157, should be right around here, okay, 72 and 166, should be about here, okay, 74 and 175. About there. And my last one, 76 and 185. Right about here. Okay? So there's my graph. All right? So that's taken care of. This graph was worth 10 points. Okay? So the graph itself was the most point values on the quiz. All right? So coming down to part B, what general pattern do you notice in the graph? You needed to write a complete sentence for this. So the actual pattern is, as the height increases, so does the weight. Okay? Now, what is the recommended average weight for an adult who is 65 inches? Go back to your graph, okay? 65 inches is in between 66 and 68, or sorry, 66 and 64. So you're looking anywhere between 130 and 140. So instead of saying a range, you actually need to figure that out. So 65 is in between 66 and 64, so take the average of 131 and 140, okay? So if you do that, or you can look at your graph, okay? So if I'm looking at 65, that would be right in the middle here, and I go up and then over, it looks like I'm going to be about 135, okay? So again, it's that approximation, so about 135 pounds. Okay? Next, how tall would you expect a person whose normal weight is 150? It's actually supposed to be about 69 inches. Okay? Now, B was worth 2 points. C and D were worth 1 point. Okay? So if you got those wrong, make sure you get them. All right? Next, this one pretty much everybody got wrong because I think you forgot how to do percents. So here's how you do it. Look at the information that you need. All right? In a typical year, 3,884,000,000 kilograms of the plastic PVC is produced in the United States. 9 million kilograms of the PVC are recycled every year. What percent of PVC manufactured in this country is recycled? You need this number here, and you need this number here, okay? So how do you do percent? Smaller number over larger number, divide, then multiply by 100. And that'll give you the percent you need, okay? So I'm looking at 9 million over 3,884,000,000. Now, you guys had the 4-function calculators at this point. All you needed to do was cross out your zeros. So basically, you're looking at 9 divided by 3,884, okay? When you divide this, you're getting a pretty small decimal, okay? You get the 0.0023171988, okay? Now, to get the percent, you take your decimal and move it 2 places to the right. So you're looking at 0.2317, okay? So basically something like that percent. So now you need to write that as a sentence, okay? 0.2317% is recycled. All right? All right, so there we go. That is number 1 on the other side of the page, okay? Number 2, again, you're looking at percent. How you have to do this is you take the number of wins, because you want the number of wins, how many did they win? The number of wins over the total. So you have to go 98 plus 64, that's 162. So you're looking at 98 over 162 equals x over 100. I saw a lot of people doing that. That's very good. Is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, so you're looking at 9800 equals 162x. Divide by 162. You should get approximately 60.5%. Okay, so they won 60.5% of their games. Okay? This one was worth 4 points. And so was number 1. Okay? Both those were worth 4 points. Okay, number 3. This one was worth 6 points. All right? Now, in order to do this one and get it correct, change these numbers, these ratios, into decimals so you can compare them. Okay? So 23 out of 30, you get 0.766, and it goes on with the 6s. Okay? 31 out of 40 comes out to be 0.775, and 19 out of 25 ends up being 0.76, okay? Think of this in terms of money, okay? If I round here, that's 77, okay? If I round here, that's 78, and this is just 76. So, which one's higher? B, okay? So, you would say 31 out of 40 is the best, because it is the highest percent. Okay, so that's why this is worth 6 points. You needed to do some math and then write your sentence. Okay? Number 4. This one can be a little difficult in some ways because you have to take into account one roll of wallpaper covers 31 square feet. Okay? But you're looking at your hallway is 520 square feet, and you need double rolls. Okay? So that means you need 2 rolls for one type thing. All right? So, if 2 rolls covers 62 square feet, all right, all I need to do now is divide 520 by 62. Okay? So, that division gives you 8.387096774. Because we are buying them in rolls, you can't get a partial roll. So you have to round up, all right? I need 9 rolls. Actually, not 9 rolls, double rolls. Okay? You need 9 of them. This question was worth 4 points. Okay? Next. Using your answer from question 4, figure out the cost. We know we have 9 rolls. Okay? 1 roll costs $23.99. Okay? So 1 roll is $23.99. So 2 rolls is going to be $47.98. Okay? So my double roll pack is $47.98, and I need 9 of them. So I take 47.98 times 9, okay? And that gives me $431.82. But I'm not done, because I have to include the 8.5% sales tax, okay? 8.5% is 0.85, and I'm going to multiply that by 431.82, okay? When I do that, I get 36.7047, okay? So I'm looking at $36 sales tax. So now I add my 36.07, or sorry, 0.70, with the 431.82. So my final answer, 431.82 plus 36.70 is $468.52. So I will spend $468.52. Okay? So that's the answer to that. And again, this was 4 points. Okay? Next. High-speed copy machine. 80 sheets per minute, but they want it in hours. A lot of you were putting hours and minutes. Only hours. That's all they want. Okay? So, if I'm looking at 80 sheets, and we could call it flyers, per 1 minute, okay? I need to get rid of my minutes, right? Well, there are 60 minutes per 1 hour, okay? So, when you multiply that, you get 4,800 sheets per hour, okay? But I have 6,000 flyers. So now I have to go 6,000 divided by 4,800, okay? When you do that, you get 1.25. There's your hours. You don't change that into, 25, that's a quarter of an hour, that's 15 minutes. Don't change it, okay? Your answer is, it will take 1.25 hours. Done, okay? And this one was worth 4 points, okay? So there's that. This one was worth 6 points. Okay, because there's a lot more to this. Now, you have to take into account $1.89 for 8 ounces and 12 ounces at $3.29. Okay? Some people were going, oh, the 12-ounce can is better because it's, cheaper if I do one of those versus 8 ounces. But what is this asking? It's asking which is the better buy. When you're looking for a better buy, you're looking at the ounce price, okay? How much is it per ounce? So you need to find out how much these are per ounce. So that means you have to go 1.89 divided by 8, and you need to go 3.29 divided by 12, okay? So when you take 1.89 and divide by 8, you get 0.23625. When you divide 3.29 by 12, you get 0.274166, and the 6's repeat. Okay, now, 24 cents versus 27 cents. Which is the better buy? The 8 ounces. So, the 8-ounce container is the better buy. Because it is cheaper by the ounce. Okay? So that's what you needed for that one. Now, number 8, final one. This was worth 4 points. Okay? Cross multiply divide. 24 times 304 equals 64x. Okay? So, when you do that, your x will be 114. This one doesn't require a complete sentence answer because you just started with an equation kind of thing. Okay? So that's all. Make sure you have this on a separate piece of paper so you can staple it to your quiz and get your half credit. Okay? Good luck.